Hello, I'm Denise. I want to tell you about the readings that I do for people. I am an animal communicator. However, I started my journey by doing aura healings and energy clearing for people. The best way to describe my readings is that I just intuitively know what you need to hear. I ask my clients to come with a goal or intention for what you want to get out of the session. And as we discuss this, I usually get a direction for where we need to go. Before my readings, I do check in to see what I feel, hear, see, or know. However, I often don't know what this means until I find out what the person wants to discuss. In one session, I was seeing two houses that were really close together but not touching. And I knew that this was very significant. And I thought maybe the person was moving, but she said, no, that's not the case. Later on in the session, though, she said she was taking care of her ill husband. And right away, I knew that this message was that she needed to find a new home for him, that she was going to need more help, and that it would be close, but not in the same house. Sometimes my sessions can be a little bit like therapy, where we're sorting through feelings that you might be having or discussing a particular issue in your life. I had a client once who had a business idea, and so I was getting intuitive information about who her audience would be, how she could get started, and where she should be advertising. On the other hand, I had a client where there were some issues from childhood that were coming up. So we did an exercise where she met and connected with her inner child. It's really helpful to come with an open mind, but I will always ask if you're interested in doing something like an exercise or a meditation or some kind of healing work. Regardless, I always try to give you practical things that you can do after a session. This is because I am a person who will say, it's great to know this, but what do I do about it? So I try to give you daily practices or set a goal for you to work towards, or in this case, like helping you with some business ideas. I don't always know where my intuitive information is coming from. When I prepare for a session, I connect to source and the universe, and I open my third eye. I also sometimes will pull cards and connect to my own spirit guides. However, sometimes my client spirit guides will come through, and it can be very clear who they are, but not always. So if that's something you're interested in, I can ask your spirit guides to come forward and I identify them for you. So tell you who they are, and you can always get messages from your own spirit guides as well. So that's something that could be a thing you can do going forward, is to start developing those relationships. I also do work with energy where I can see blocks in your body or see if your chakras are balanced. This is usually a starting point for me where I am drawn to a certain area, and then I get more information as I look into, say, a specific chakra. Energy work is always an option in a session. Some people set separate sessions for that, and really you have control. Whatever you want to get out of it is what I want to happen. And so we work together to figure out what your session is going to look like. No two look the same. Some of the reasons you might come to me for a session are to get guidance on next steps in your life, to help make a decision, to deal with relationships, or just to check in to see if your energy is balanced. If you are wondering about any topics, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to give you any thoughts about what I might do in a session ahead of time so you know what to expect, and I want to make sure that I am meeting your expectations. I always set the intention that my readings are for the highest and greatest good, and no matter what, I am always sending you so much love.